Hello, my divine kings and queens. I'm back to do another video. In today's message, God is saying that you are in a position of victory. You are in a position of victory right now, and He wants you to seize the moment, seize the opportunities that He is bringing your way. He is saying, play your cards right because the ball is in your corner. He wants you to wake up and realize what it is that He is currently doing for you and for your life. Some of you have certain people and situations that is around you that is draining your energy, and He wants you to reassess and reevaluate these people in these situations. But He is giving you time because, as I tell you, as you go throughout life, God understands that there are certain lessons that you have to go through and that you have to learn, right? We've already discussed that, and we already come to terms about what that means and what that entails. But sometimes we have to go through certain situations, right? Where we make mistakes, we learn, or we know what's right and we still choose to do wrong because we want to do things our way. But I feel what God is doing right now is He's allowing you to go through the notion so that you can understand that it's going to be His way at the end of the day. But He still has His hand over you. There are some people, like I said, you have to start learning how to cut ties, because these people, even though you're in this position of victory, it's almost as if they're guilt tripping you and making you feel bad for the position that you're in, because every time they look at you, they see themselves as a failure, but only because these people are in this mindset of wanting to compare your life to theirs. And I'm feeling that these are people that you've cut off. These are people who still yet watch you. Some of these people, like I tell you, they sit back and they look at you in regret and awe and in shock because you're a completely different person. And see, the reason what you didn't understand why God says you're in this position of victory, but understand you've earned every bit of success, every opportunity, every miracle, every blessing that He is sending your way and has sent your way and will continue to send your way because you are obedient. But at once upon a time, like what I say, these people, God say, were very envious and jealous of you. And so you have to understand something. When people say, I can't accept the new you, I wish you was the old you, it's because those old phases and cycles and ways of being that you were going through in your life in the past, these people wanted you to stay there because they felt superior than you, because you were messing up, because you weren't up to par, because you weren't where you are today. They can't accept the new you because they can't handle the new you, because they can't succeed at beating you in this new phase, in this new cycle, in this new way of being. This is why they cannot accept you. God say, listen, they wanted the truth so bad. They thought they knew the truth, but couldn't handle it when it was presented to them of who you are and who you was going to be. They joked you. They mocked you. They doubted you. They act like they didn't want you in their group. Act like that you wasn't part of the family, like you wasn't in. Act like they didn't know who you were, like they weren't proud of you because of what you was doing. But see, they couldn't handle it when God started to rise you up, when God started to bless you up, when God started opening up doors of opportunities for you. And He told you, don't question it, just step into it. You stopped fearing the unknown and you started having faith and you started doing what it is that God was calling you to do, because you realized where you were, it wasn't where you was going to be. And see, a lot of people will envy and hate you because of the success that's coming your way or the success that you've experienced. But a lot of people aren't willing to take risks and pray that they paid off. There were a lot of people who wasn't risk takers. There were a lot of people who did not keep the faith. There were a lot of people who was not obedient. There's a lot of people who wasn't willing to think outside of the box. There were a lot of people who wasn't willing to change up their ways of being, right? In order to heal, in order to grow, in order to elevate. So at the end of the day, when they sat back and God said, He's telling you, listen, don't hate these people, but love them from a special place in your heart, especially if it's family. Because let me tell you something, what's happening right now. He doesn't want you to be or have this energy or this spirit of resentment towards these people. Because see, some of these people did not know no better. They gossiped and they chose to stay in toxicity and negativity because that's all they knew. That's what they grew up in. There are a lot of people who at the end of the day are starting to realize who you are, and some don't envy you, but they're afraid of you. Because like I said, there are people who knew what you went through. There are people who saw how you got through. And the reason why God blessed you the way that he did was because he wanted you to go through these cycles and allow people to see your journey and your transition, right? So that at the end of the day, these very same people who put their mouth on you, these very same people who doubted you, these very same people who thought they knew you, have to get to know you all over again. And what they're doing right now, instead of putting their mouth on you, instead of doubting you, instead of joking you, instead of gossiping, they sitting back, and it's a respect factor, God said. It's a respect factor because you're in this position of victory, because you're in this position of success, because you're in this position, and it's here to stay, God say. It's here to stay. So need not worry, but just understand what it is that he's trying to do for your life. Understand what he wants you to see. You understand? You are ready, he says. You are ready for all the things that he has in store for you and all the things that he's going to continue to do for you. God said you're in this position of victory, and it's here to stay. People thought they knew you. They thought they knew you. They thought they knew the truth, God said, but when it was presented before their very eyes, they couldn't handle the truth. They thought they knew the truth, but really didn't know. They thought they knew the truth, but couldn't handle the real truth. They thought they knew you, but they didn't. And see, what's happening is God is allowing these things to unfold in your life the way that he's doing it is because at the end of the day, there were things that God heard that you did not hear. There were things that God saw that you did not see. And see, he knew that what he was going to do for you, because he was going to make sure that you stepped into your purpose. He was going to make sure that your destiny was fulfilled. He was going to make sure that you carried out this mission. But see, some things, it's not enough, right, for God to show us. It's not enough for him to tell us. Sometimes we got to really go through it in order to see who people really are, so that we can begin to cut the ties, so that we can begin to step back and reevaluate and reassess the situation, right? And see, that's what was happening for you guys. That's what was happening for you. They kicked you when you were down, but could not handle when God presented this position to you. This position, and he told you, step up. Accept the challenge. Take these risks and watch how I allow it to pan out for you. And so you look back at everything that wasn't working for you. You look back and you thought about the times people put their mouth on you. You look back and you thought about the times classmates, friends, family, everybody grouped together to judge you. You were so bad. You was the rotten apple. You was the forbidden fruit. But when God came to you in your spirit, in your time of despair, when he came to you in your time of darkness, of defeat, he presented this position to you. And he said, this is the opportunity that I'm giving you. Take it and see what I do for you. Just step into what it is I need you to step into, and watch how I bless everything that you put your mind to. Watch how I bless every project that you handle. Watch how I bless you. Watch how I perform miracles for your life. Watch what I do for you. Just accept this position. You may not feel like you are worthy for it. You may not feel like you qualify. But watch what I do. Watch how I make things right. If you just accept this position, if you just accept this opportunity. I saw the hurt. I saw the pain. I saw how people mocked you. I saw how they laughed at you when you were down. See, a lot of people saw what you was going through and felt like they judged you on these things that took you down a path of losses, right? They judged you because they said, well, had you not done this, this would never happen. Had you had enough sense not to do this, maybe this would have never happened to you. But see, they didn't understand that everything that you did was part of your journey. Everything that you did was a stepping stone to getting you to where you are today. Those mistakes paid off for you. Those losses paid off for you. Those defeats paid off for you. Those betrayals paid off for you. The mockery, the gossiping, the treachery, all of it paid out for you. And now, as people take seats, they have to take several seats, God say, and watch what I do for you. Because they thought they knew you. They thought they knew where your life was going to go. They thought they knew who you was going to be in life. But see, they thought they knew the truth, but when it was presented to them, they didn't know how to handle it, because you in this position of power now. You in this position of victory now. You in this position of success now. And every time people look at you, mostly these people put their mouth on you, they see how much of a failure they are. Which is why, like I say, there's a lesson to be learned in all of this, because see, people won't feel that way if they stop comparing. People won't feel that way if they stay focused on what it is that they need to be focused on. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you are chosen, you have to understand no one man is the same. Even with God's chosen ones, you have to understand we all have a different purpose. We all have a different path. One may go ahead and be this far, and one may be here, but it's all, like I say, a purpose. It's a reason in all of this. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you cannot compare yourself, because see, no one man's anointing is the same. No one man's success and blessing is the same. But you see why people got it so hard up on you? Because see, they thought they knew, God say. They thought they thought they just had it in the bag. They thought they had it figured out. They celebrated too soon. They celebrated your defeats too soon, God say. They sat back and congregated together and laughed at you and did not know the plans that I had for you. They thought they knew, and now they're trying to renege. They trying to double back. And for some, their pride is shot. They don't even know how to come back because they've done too much. They faked it too much. They betrayed you time and time and time and time and time again. They talked about you too much now, to the point where it's like, now that you're in this position of victory, they don't know, they just got to be quiet. That's their saving grace, just to be quiet, because they talk too much. It's like they see what God is doing for your life. And God said the whole reason why you went through these things, even though you thought you was going through it alone, you thought I wasn't going to come through for you. There was a reason. There was a period that you had to go through, that I wanted everyone to see, because I wanted that in that period, in that time, for you to see who people truly are when you were down. I wanted you to see that these people really weren't for you. I don't care if they blood. I don't care if you grew up with them. I don't care if they went to school with you. I wanted you to see who they truly were when you were down. See, when you were down, they talk. So that's who they are. When someone show you who they are, believe them. When you were down, they act like they don't want to be associated with you. Like, oh, I would never do that. My child would never do that. When someone show you who they are, believe them. Oh, that's what they was doing. That's what's do. That's what do. That's what do. They act like they ain't got no sense. They act like they just When someone show you who they are, believe them. But see, now God say, now that you've gone through that period when you were down, and I allowed and I revealed people for who they truly are, please don't take these people back now that they want to double back, because they realize now who you truly are. And they realize that at the end of the day, you should not judge a book by its cover. You should not judge a person by their shortcomings and their mistakes. A lot of people are realizing this now. They're realizing it because, see, God say they stepped out too quick. They stepped out too quick to judge you, to laugh at you, to rope you off. It was a reason, God say. Yes, you're in this position of victory right now, but understand what I need you to see. It ain't, oh, well, I ain't mean it. Won't God do it every time? Yeah, I always knew you was going to be this. I always knew. No, they did not. No, they did not. And please don't allow people to come back and drain your energy now and lay their burdens at your feet, when at the end of the day, when you was going through the struggles and when you had your own burdens to deal with, there was only one person who was on your side. There was only one person who believed in you. There was only one person who presented this opportunity, this position to you. He needs you to wake up and realize that, and accept people for who they truly are, because it was in that moment and in that period that you weren't on the up and up, that you were not doing right, that people showed you who they truly are. I don't care. They go for family. They go for friends. They go for people who you thought you knew, just like people thought they knew you. They thought they knew the truth. But when it was presented to them, they didn't know how to handle it. And so now that you have crossed over, you have transitioned, you have changed yourself in your ways of being, and you allow God, you release control, and you allow him to take over and place you and take you where it is that he needs you to be. Now you're in this position of victory. You're in this position of power. God says it's here to stay. But listen to what I say. Take these people. Take what they showed you at face value. Because when you weren't on the up and up, and when things were not panning out for you and not going the way that you wanted it to go, people showed you who they truly were. Now they all together, and instead of gossiping, they looking at each other. And you know what they're saying? Respect. That's respect. Because it takes something to get to where you are today. They thought they knew you, but they didn't know you was a whole prayer warrior out here. They didn't know that it took something. It took sacrifices. It took hurt. You understand where I'm coming from. Level set with me for a little bit. You was on your knees so much that it turned black and blue. Believing and hoping and praying that God had better for you. And he came through for you, didn't he? But people didn't see that. They didn't see the times that you cried. They didn't see the times that you was really stressing out about where your next meal was going to come, where your next source of income was going to come. And it was in that moment that instead of people trying to come through for you, instead of people trying to be your backbone and be your support, they liked seeing you in emotional distress. When people feel intimidated by you, when they see you go through something, they take joy in seeing you not being on the up and up. They take joy in seeing you go through some struggles because they think life was just so easy for you. But these are ignorant people. These are people who watch you so much. And what I just said, they thought they knew you. They thought they knew the truth, but they really didn't know. You went through more struggles than anyone who's ever been close to you. You went through struggles. You see what the reason why they don't know, why God blessing you? Because your strength. You weren't out here trying to play victim. That's why people didn't know how bad it was for you. You wasn't out here going, oh, please. Oh, please. You didn't give into people. God said, this is why I'm coming through for you. And I'm going hard for you the way I'm going hard for you. Because see, when you was going through that period of distress, when you was going through that period, you weren't out here trying to seek help from people. You were trying to seek help from me. You knew I was the only person who could come through for you. So instead of going and stating your case and submitting your claim to the people in the streets, you got down on your knees and you submitted it to me. And you asked me to perform miracles in your life. You asked me to switch some up in your life. You asked me you begged me, you prayed to me, and you waited till I came through for you. You didn't give up. You ain't miss a step. You ain't miss a hop. You kept praying and believing that I had better for you. And now that you're in this position of power, and now that you have this position of victory and success in your life, they can't handle it. Because they thought they knew. They stepped out too quick. They stepped out too quick to judge you, too quick to laugh, like everything a joke. Too quick to rope you off, too quick to cut you off. And now that you're in this position that's here to stay, this position that at the end of the day, I'm going to continue to promote you. This ain't all I have for you. They trying to compete where they don't compare. Because they can't handle that the same person who they put their mouth on is the person who I blessed to have this position. They can't handle it. They watch your every move and don't know what to do. Some are afraid of you because of the things that you called them out on. The things that they know. The things that you know that you should not know. Because you weren't there when they was talking about you. You weren't there when they was gossiping about you. You weren't there. So how do you know? How did you know to cut them off? How did you know to switch up your step and start setting boundaries with people? There are some who are intimidated. There are some who are afraid. There are some who you are an inspiration to. But all in all, it takes something to be you. And people are realizing that now. Everything worked the way that God needed it to work. And now, even though these people at the end of the day, God say, I ain't bless you to rub it up in these people's face. I ain't bless you to take these people back because they showed you who they are. I bless you so it'll be a respect factor. They ain't got to like it, but they going to respect it. And now they sit back. What I tell you, they can't judge and laugh no more. They looking at each other. Respect. Because you in this position of power. You in this position of victory and success. You called out to him and you believed that he was going to come through for you. You cried out to God. You sung to him. You prayed to him. You cried to him, not to people. And he's blessing you for it. Here is my melody. Here is my melody. Lord, it's coming straight from my heart to your soul. Here is my melody. Here is my melody. Lord, it's coming straight from my heart to your soul. Lord, it's coming straight from my heart to your soul. This is real life, and this is a real word delivered to you by yours truly. You already know I come with that real and never that fake. Be proud of where you are today. Be proud and thankful for everything that you went through to get here to where you are today. Because it shaped you. It redefined you. I told you people gonna have to get to know you all over again because you ain't the same. Because you done been through some things. And when you went through it, you persevered and you pushed through. And you wore it like a badge of honor and you didn't let everybody know what was going on until God said it was the right time to let people know so you can inspire others who've gone through the same thing that you've gone through. But before that, not a soul knew how hard it was for you. But they envy and judge you. They talked, treated you very cruel, and took great joy in seeing you go through that emotional distress and pain. And because you stated your case and submitted your claim to the man above instead of the people in the streets, who probably would have wanted to hear, but God said don't give them the satisfaction, you are being blessed. And you're in this position of power, of victory and success. And he says it's here to stay. I'm going to let you figure out some things. I'm going to let you take certain paths that you need to take. But at the end of the day, you're going to realize and come back to me and understand that it's going to be my way. But because I love you, right? God is the author, the creator, a teacher of your life. He can create a certain curriculum for you, but it's up to you to learn. It's up to you to prepare. It's up to you to do the homework. If at times you don't do what it is that he's asking you to do, you fail that cycle, you fail that phase, but because he has his hand over you, he allows you to make certain mistakes so that you learn from it. So when you come back, you pass the test, you learn the lesson, and now he can promote you and elevate you and take you to where you need to be. That's what he's doing for you. He will never lift his hand from you. He will never leave you out here unprotected. He will never allow the darkness to overcome you and the enemies to have their way with you. That's why you are here today. Had it gone any other way, you wouldn't have been here. But because he loves you, he chastised you. And that's why you went through certain things, because you had to learn the hard way. The hard way meaning it will always be God's way. And because you finally release control, you continue to cry out to him, but continue to push forward and believing and hoping for better days. You are where you are today, in this position of power, in this position of success and victory. And God says it's here to stay. So continue to hold your head up high. Never let nobody see you sweat. And understand that if you need a friend, you got it in me. If you need love, you got it in me. If you need inspiration, motivation, life example, you already know you got it in me. I come with that real, never that fake. I keep it 100 with you. I keep it a buck with you. Continue to reach one, teach one, bring others to the JC gang. Get these messages out here to the people of whom you know need to hear it. Understand that this and how I come is unfiltered. And it's the real, raw truth for you and what you need to hear. It may not always be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. So if you know that others are going through certain things, continue to get these messages out to people and continue to reach one and teach one and bring others to the JC game. Because you already know how I'm coming. You already know how we moving. And until next time, stay prayed up and be blessed. I love you.